Hey, everybody. Happy Friday. It's such a good way to end the week. We're going to hang out together. Can you believe it? We're going to play with OLO markers. This has been a highly requested video. We're going to show you 3 ways to use your markers. I'm going to say hello to everybody. I'm going to put my glasses on so I can actually see the screen. Because at my age, it's hard to see all the things. So it looks like we've got Lisa, we've got Judy, we've got Sandy, we've got Under a Pile of Papers, who is Benita from Sweden. We've got Tanya Spilly. Hi, Tanya. She's local to me. We are absolutely going out of my comfort zone because you guys know that I love Copics, but you all wanted Olos, and I know it says Copic versus pencil, but the last minute I changed my mind. We might still color her with Copics to see if we like her better. So this is Flower Child. So I wanted to give you an idea of what it looked like with Copics because honestly I needed to practice, but I do have, and I see Tara's on here, welcome. I do have a few things I want to share with you before we get started. So first of all, if you're new here, welcome. My name is Joy. I'm a co-founder of Pajama Crafter Stamps. My husband and I do this together. Looks like my camera got a little wonky. Hold on, we're gonna fix that. Because nobody wants to see my lap. Anyway, we do have a sale going on if you are a fan of Jane's Doodle. So if you're from across the pond, you're absolutely going to want these. We have Ham It Up, which is this cute little beach scene with the pigs. We've got Bruno the Beekeeper, which is adorable. Okay. We've got Chillin' with the Herd. We've got the Woodland Christmas Eve stamps. Which is if you guys are one of these people that do Christmas all year round, this is the time to pick that up. And then we've got this beautiful stamp set by Jane's Doodles, which is the Citrus and Scarlet Blooms. And if I can get this video to play, I will let you see what some of the design team has done with it. So let's see if I can do this without messing it up. I don't know if that's going to play for you guys or not. I want it to. I'm hoping. Yep, it's playing. So those are just some of the samples. So thick and cute. And you can find that at Pajama Crafter. You do not have to have a code. This is an automatic sale. I even put a tab up that says Jane's Doodles on it. So there's no, they have to go search, and it's on the top crossbar of the website. So there we go. We also have restocked the Masking Wonder sheets. So they are removable. So you can stamp on there and you can use them for masking, cut them out, with a die, with your scissors, whatever. But these are, and you can use these multiple times. You get 12 sheets and they're $7.99 for that. So let's go ahead and get that video off of there because we don't need it. Okay. So that's what we've got going on. Also in our newsletter, if you don't subscribe to it, you should. We are featuring our design team member, Cheryl, which is also known as Artsy Island Girl. And if you use Artsy10 in the discount code, you'll get another 10%. So if you pick up those Jane's Doodles, not only will you get the 25%, but you'll get the 10. So my goodness, this is the time. All right. So one thing that I have seen on the internet that is popular, and it goes against everything that I believe in, and I shouldn't say that. It's not my cup of tea, is what they call high contrast coloring. Ugh. So it's where you color one color and then you add a dark. So not only are we going to use the markers that I am not fluent at, but we are also going to show you how to do this with just two colors, because I know not everybody is a colorist. So for my skin tone, I am using OR 3.2, OR 2.0, and OR 7.2. So the 2.0 is extremely light. So we're going to make her look tan. So we're going to use this 3.2. Oh, this makes me nervous. But this is really popular in the adult coloring like groups. And there are a couple influencers that actually are starting to do this. Because everybody's always looking for the like quick and easy. You guys, this is hurting my soul because I color. I mean, 3 is usually my minimum for a color blend, but I usually do 4 or 5. So this is killing me. But honestly, we all learn somewhere. And if you leave her just like that, she doesn't look so bad. So right here, I'm doing her hands. We're just going to go ahead and color in those toes because why wouldn't we? And I am going to make her look like she's wearing like a cami. So she is going to be in a sleeveless shirt. She's so precious. I just love her, just so you know. And I love how big she is because when I first started coloring girls, I could not stay in the lines at all. And it really bothered me when I would get these little tiny images. So I thought we would make these like friendly for everybody. So people who like to really color and they want that to be their focal point, they get to do this with these big images that I came out with this release. But say you're brand new to coloring and you can't get all the different colors in one spot. That's what this is for. So for my scary dark, so it is Bonita, right? Hold on. Yes. Excuse me. I am horrible. Like I have to remember screen names, and I'm terrible at that. So undertones. So speaking to you, Bonita, since you understand undertones, you could use a blue violet, and you could do this color tone. I know that scares the doo-doo out of people, so I'm not even going to try to use a blue or a blue violet today. So we're going to use the 7.2, and where this headband would be, this is killing me. Oh, you're just putting in a thick line. Thick lines. Why do we have markers that look like paintbrushes to use a thick line? It's hurting my soul. I'm still going to do like makeup contour. Gracie's saying hi because she hears me talking to somebody besides you. If you don't know who Gracie is, she is my cockatiel. And if she continues her running her mouth, she will then get the macaw going. So now there's like this shadow under the neck. So one thing, it's the same as any alcohol marker. They're still translucent and buildable. So we're able to keep going over it. So under this arm where this crease is, there's going to be a shadow. And where these bracelets are, there's a shadow. And I'd even say this little shoulder would be under shadow. Of course, where the toes like overlap, there's going to be a shadow. So we're just going to dab it in. And I'm off screen. Ugh. Okay. She's not too bad looking, though. I mean, she's just not. I mean, as much as I'm scared of doing this, it's not terrible. So I am still going to put cheeks in because I think that every girl should have some color on her cheeks. So I'm going in with an R0.2. And we're not giving her bright cheeks. But isn't she cute just like that? So this has kind of got the anime feel to it where they just use the two-tone. But in anime, you would be using like a blue-violet instead of that. Now we're going to do the jeans. Oh, this is going to kill me. My dog is coughing. It's not me. So Judy says this looks good. Thank you. We're going to use a B4.3. And since we're going in with 2 colors, let's just go ahead and get the whole set of jeans or these overalls colored. Now you guys could use whatever colors you want. I'm just going with blue so we can stick with what my original one looked like. This is hurting my soul. Ugh. So I do want to talk about this for a second. I am not one of the company owners that say you have to color with a certain medium. I do tend to go with alcohol markers, specifically Copics. I'm going to kick this dog out if he keeps barking or keeps coughing. Buddy, are you okay? It's not alive without an animal doing something. He started this in the middle of the night last night. Yorkies have tracheal stenosis, which is funny because so do I, which is why I talk the way I do. But as they get older, they tend to deal with like collapse. So again, she doesn't look too bad. Now you know that I would go with this 4.7, which would be like that super dark color. See the difference? So, but we're going to use this, I think the 4.6, because I think otherwise it's going to be too dramatic. And down here where the legs meet, I'm going to put that whole pocket in shadow. And I went out of the lines. It's okay. But not too bad. I'm used to my camera being focused more up here. I keep playing with my camera setup. I am going to come back with this 4.3 and just blend this just a little bit. I can't break my habits, guys. I mean, I'm trying. Oh, and we need to put that 4.3 up here. So I would say that most of this would be in shadow because of her head leaning forward and where that pocket is. And we're going to call her done. I don't know which one looks better. I'm not mad at this one. So some of these people might be changing my mind. Now for the eyes, we're gonna go drastic. I used 3 colors in this eye combination. So we're gonna use a 2.2. You like the Papa Red? We're gonna give her the Papa Red here in a minute. I only did parts. So that was the 2.2, and this is the 2.6. So I skipped a whole marker. And I'm going halfway across the eye. And then just to get that to blend, so we don't have that color wall, I just came back in with that 2.2. So let's get back to the reds. I am going to use an R04, which is more like an R14 if you're a Copic person. And I'm going to go right across here. Have I missed anybody? Hi, Charlene. Charlene, this is going against every coloring rule we've ever learned, but I am using my OLO, so you should be proud of me. I'm showing different ways because I know you're a little bit late to the show. High contrast coloring, where you just use 2 colors, is a big trend right now in the adult coloring world, which is not the way we were taught, but there's nothing wrong with it, and it's more of an anime color. So I did a 0.4, and that was a 1.5. I really think a 1.7 would have been better, but whatever, it's fine. Let's go ahead and do her headband. And I am going to do this in that red because, you know, I like me a Papa Red, and I'm making her an all-American girl. So I'm kind of going around the colors, or around the flowers, excuse me. There's a little knot here, and we've got the bow tie, or the tassels. She's a happening girl. I like her. She is super cute. Now, I typically, when I color, I usually do my reds last because reds like to bleed. But we're living on the edge today because, you know, we're doing it. So I used a 1.6 the last time. We're going to use a 1.7 so you can see what the difference looks like. So I always turn my paper so that my wrist is comfortable. Girls, it's killing me using 2 colors. But don't you think that she is adorable? Now, where these daisies are, there's going to be a shadow under them. And we could call her done. That is really how people are coloring right now. She is lovely. Thank you. I haven't done 2 colors in ages either, Charlene. But let's see what she would look like with the multiple colors. So I normally color dark to light when I use Olos. Actually, when I use any alcohol marker. Now, back in the days of Copic certification, they always taught light to dark. Um, I'm heavy-handed, so a lot of times I bleach out my colors. So it's easier for me to do dark to light because I naturally like get the blend. So there we are. We used the 0.6. I'm going to come in with that 1.7. Not much difference yet. This is the 1.5. I'm just extending some of those lines and brightening it up because now the highlight's really bright. So Sandy says she does 2 colors because she doesn't have a whole set of markers. And that's really common. So that's what's nice about alcohol markers is you can keep going over the color. The other thing that's nice about alcohol markers, I printed her, or not printed her, I stamped her a few times. So this is, I don't know, the 1.5, and this is the 0.4. So you've got this color gradient, right? But you can actually take 2 markers and you take your lightest marker and you go tip to tip and you pick it up and you get a medium color in between. See how that's just a little bit different? So that's how you can stretch your markers is doing tip to tip coloring. Okay. All right, we're moving on. We're going back to our 2-color person. It's hurting me. Okay. I am flying by the seat of my pants. So 7.1 maybe. And a 7.7. Oh, no. Okay. We'll leave that out for the other girl. So our 2-toned girl, we're going to start with a 7.3. And since this is the trend, I like to leave a lot of white space in my hair. That's how you get the shine. I evidently like to get my head in the camera today too. But we're just getting her down. We're getting that color in, man. Killing me. It is not the way I was taught. But the one thing I have learned, there is no right or wrong way to color. And the whole purpose of coloring, so that was 7.3, to get like a dish water blonde. So there's still going to be a shadow where these flowers are. And this is a huge contrast, you guys. So you could do, if this scares you, you could totally do tip to tip. This is killing me. So where that bun collects here, there would still be some gathering spots. And there would still be some stripes here. So I am breaking up some of that hair color. Haven't even touched this down here because I don't even know where to begin, but we're gonna play now. And this under here would be basically under shadow. Tara says she loves coloring hair. I like it when I can do it my way. But she's really not she's not too shabby, you know? So I am going to go in with that 7.3, just add a little bit of contrast because, again, these colors are buildable. So I'm still sticking to my rules of 2 colors. What do you guys think of her so far? Charlene says hair's not your favorite. If I'm not on a live and I get to like really play with it, I do like it. But if I'm on a live, I don't get to like spend an hour doing it. I think she's cute. I need to see. Let's just color this in as if it's hair. I think it's supposed to be a flower, but I don't think she's terrible looking. Honestly, she's so dang cute. I think it would be impossible to make her look bad. All right, for the centers of the daisy, I'm using Y2.3. I have no idea. It's just what spoke to me. And that was a little dabble, do ya? And then I'm using YO 2.3. And I'm kind of dotting that in to give it a little bit of dimension because I'm sticking to my rules. And this little doodad down here, I think is her charm of her necklace. So I went ahead and did that. Now we're going to keep her with a white belt. But you guys know the rules. If you've got white, still have shadow. So I am going to use C0 and a C3. And so I am going to make her eyes come alive. Hi, Colette. So I am going to start to put a little bit of gray in the whites of her eye, like there. And you can barely see that. Let me see. So I put C0 down. And like where her eye makeup would be, I'm kind of doing a shadow. And I'm just giving it a little bit of light. Now this one down here, I'm leaving alone. Now for the daisies, I'm still going to put a little bit of the C3 in sporadically. I normally color like petal by petal, but these are so tiny that I don't think we need to. So, Colette, what we're doing is side by side. This is the way I normally color. I always point to it wrong. This one here is the way I normally color, like with 3 and 4 color blends. This is what they call high contrast coloring, where you use 2 colors, and it's very popular in adult coloring pages. And it's honestly, I've been seeing a lot of card making influencers do it too. It breaks my heart because it's not the way I was taught. But hey, what can I say? That's what we're doing today. I'm going to give her her little necklace there. And where's that C3? I've got a whole bunch of markers over here. Oh, I picked up a red. That would have been bad. Woo! So that's her belt buckle. Okay. So honestly, I think she's super cute, exactly the way she is. I'm going to show you another. I'm going to show you another. Every time I go to zoom out, I like change. Sorry if I'm making you seasick. All right, we're going to go with the yellow dots on the daisies. My computer always wants to ding as soon as I'm on a live. It's I think Adobe is doing like updates or something. Why does it feel like it needs to help me? So these are going to be some like leaves actually. I colored them as hair in the previous one. But I'm just showing you that you can do artistic differences with your coloring. So that was a 1.2 and a 1.4. So question, is anybody even impressed that I brought out the illos? Because I am. Now, since this is like our lunch and chat, I am going to take a drink. And I'm sorry if this is unprofessional, but with my voice, girls, I get to do what I want to do. You're proud of me. Me too. Me too. Thanks, Charlene, for your photo confidence. There was Gracie. So right now I'm highlighting or I'm putting like the flowers in, and the headband would cause a shadow. And it would cause a shadow down here too. And so I'm going to say that I'm going to start with this. And I'm always going to bend my paper so that or turn my paper so that my wrist is comfortable. So if I start turning things, I know it's not always great for you guys, but it's what helps me. So I'm going to do the top of this bun. It's really, really important to turn your paper so that you get the best results. Because, I'm a firm believer that you've got to be proud of what you put out there. And, card making started out as my ministry and my mental health too. And I still do. When I make a card, I pray over who's going to receive it. And I hope that God guides me with the coloring, guides me with the words that I'm going to write in the cards. And so I figure if I'm putting all that trust in God, I should probably do the best I can with putting my efforts into it. So it may not be fun to watch me turn the paper, but this is going to go to somebody. And it may go to a perfect stranger that God's going to direct me to send it to, or it might go to a loved one, a friend who needs to be cheered up, any of those things. So one of the core values of Pajama Crafter Stamps is that everything that we do is with a servant's heart. And so it's very important to me that I, one, give you guys as much information on live as I possibly can, because I am serving you so that you can learn how to do your similar. I'll get to that. So, I feel like I serve you guys by teaching you the content. And that's why I don't charge you for content. That doesn't mean that there won't be classes at some point. But guys, if you can stand listening to my voice, I give so much away for free that everybody else charges for. And I'm not tooting my own horn, but I really do want to serve this community. Hold on one second. So if you want to find us, we're at pajamacrafterstamps.com. All the products are listed in the description box below. So Lisa says, since I won't toot my own horn, she'll do it for me. She's my biggest cheerleader. All right, now I'm using the 7.1. And now I'm going to come do these little wispy things, and I'm starting out with my lightest color. Breaking my own rules, but I'm doing what I want to do because, again, I want it to look good for you guys. Do you know what would be really cute? This little piece right here, I think actually is part of the headband. Is it? I feel like it could be colored that way, but we're not going to. I just noticed that, I completely ignored it. So I'm going to come in with a 7.3, and I'm going to follow some of these natural lines. And down here, I'm just going to, I didn't do the super dark. Cute, cute, cute. So you thought that too? Okay, well, let's just do it. So that was the 0.4. Charlene, I think you and I are on the same page. I think that looks the best. Charlene, didn't you color yours to look like a bandana with the little white dots and the little squiggly wigglies? I can't remember. what you call those. Let's go ahead and get some gray in these daisies. And if you're just jumping on, Jane's Doodles, which has its own section in the search top bar of this website, is 25% off through Sunday night. So it'll go away at midnight Eastern or 11:59 Eastern, because there are people who will question me on that. Okay, so we have these two. Does anybody want to see this done in Copic before we move to pencils? So Lisa is saying that a PCS retreat would be hella fun. It is in the works. I want it to be in person, and I'm just trying to figure out what to do. So you want those in Copics. Amen, sister. Look at me, I'm just grabbing my colors like I know all the things. Like I know this like the back of my hand. All right. Yes, I'm going to add accents with the pencils. I am not coloring with the pencils because I want to show everybody how to take their images and elevate them to the next level. So this is the EO4. And we go all the way down the neck and here in the crease of the armpit and down the arm. I'm going to do the little toesies. I'm so glad somebody wanted to do that. I'm not making a card, you guys. I am literally just showing you the differences between the techniques. Okay. So that was EO4. If you don't have an EO4, you can use an RV95. You can use an E13. My colors are weird. My 11 is darker than my 21. So if you want to see that, and I don't know why, that's my 21. And that's my 11. Make that make sense. I can't. It's cold at your place, is it? I am in a sweatshirt. I have my heat on. I literally yesterday went from having air conditioning on. Like I went to bed with the air conditioning on and I turned the heat on as soon as I woke up. I had my heated seats on my car today when I went to the gym. And yeah, it's cold. Here's my E11. And you see, I'm going over the areas that have the EO4. Bottoms of the toes. And I'm even going to come down here around her eyes. And I'm going to do a little triangle above her nose. So help me, Benita, what is 20 degrees Celsius? I have to tell you, I'm illiterate when it comes to that. I'm ashamed to say. This is my E21. And again, I'm washing over all of it. So it kind of goes together. E21 is going to be her main color for me. Kind of still looks a little funky, but we're getting her done. Her little shoulder over here, I'm just going to make the E21. 68 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll take your weather today. It was like 80 something, like earlier. It was like last week. And then it decided to be cold again. Like the Midwest is just not kind. Which I think Charlene's starting to learn because she just moved to the Midwest and she's like, what is this garbage? Gonna finish her toesies. Anywhere I'm not getting a good blend or I've like missed a spot, I'm going in. I forgot the entire ear. I always forget the ears. Does anybody else forget the freaking ears? I always forget the ears. I'm terrible. Sandy says it's 50. What is it here? I think I turned my phone off. What is my... Does my computer tell me? No, it just tells me my local time. I'm one of those weird people. I have all my notifications and stuff turned off. I don't know. All right, I'm using an R21. I like a nice cheek, you guys. So I always come in from the side and I use the side of my marker. I even go up the side of the face. I am never going to be that person that likes that like apple cherry cheek. Sophia Peter. That is one of my friend's favorites. Okay, we're going to do the eyes next because let's be real. It's like it's the window to the soul. Okay. I have so many markers on my table right now. It's crazy. So I'm using a BO2. So do you guys rather to see coloring or would you rather see like a whole card made? I should have that as a poll and you guys should like, once I figure out the software 100%, we'll start doing polls. All right, so that was the BO2, so that's the lightest color. This is the BO6. And I'm going straight across the eye, even into the I just went into the white of the eye. Even if I'm going into the black, it's fine. And I'm going across exactly in the same spot. Let's fix that little doodad problem. We're using a colorless blender. And we're pushing that. So we're going 1, 2, 3. We kind of let it do its little thing. And I got some pink over in her hair. So I'm just going to push that over into her skin. That bird of mine is trying my nerves. You like both, but coloring is relaxing. I agree. So this is the BO4 as the like transition color. And we're done. I do need to go back and address this ear situation. So here's the EO4. And we're going to just skip some colors and we're just going to do an E11 and we're going to be done. Because it's not important. There's my desk. Okay. Let's do the jeans. So I like the B90 family. getting a little bit of reverb. That happened to Justine the other day too, and I'm not sure why. I'm checking my settings here. Okay, all other speakers are off. Sometimes my microphone can serve as a speaker too, and sometimes it likes to be a little pesky, and it likes to like turn on. Okay, so it did fix it. So I was listening to a YouTube video last night, and I had my speakers on, so I just turned that off. Even though in my system it says it's off, but you know me and tech girls, we're lucky that we're on here and that I haven't given up yet. So right now I'm using B99. And I'm just going where there would be shadows. So there would be one under the belt. This is like, you've seen this already more than once today. Now, if you want to give her some knees, you could give her like, and you just kind of achieve that by doing like little C's or little rectangle or triangles. Like, you don't make this hard. Okay. And if you wanted to just kind of following the artist drawn lines right there where she's got like some textures. She's so stinking cute. And then where this little pocket is, and on each side and around the buttons. And she's going to have a little bit of a shadow up here on this strap. And technically she'd have a little bit of one there. Doop, doop. Okay. Now we're going to go to B97. And we're going to repeat the process. So now I'm just kind of like adding in the shadows. I might round them out a little bit because, you know, our legs are round. And again, feel free to add whatever textures you want to your jeans. There's like no right or wrong. You could even give her like a rip. So do you guys want to see what a rip would look like? Let's do it. Let's do a rip right here above the knee. Okay? Because why not? As much as I love doing craft roulette, and I will continue doing craft roulette on Tuesdays, I really like the fact that I can do my own little thing on Fridays. And if I'm not at a show, that's what I plan on doing, is kind of like hanging with my peeps and teaching them like what they want to know. Like I said, I got a lot of requests for Olos, even though I'm showing you what it's going to look like with Copics. But at least it was talking about doing a PCS retreat. I am not a huge virtual person. As you know, I'm not great at tech. You've all seen me like screw that up 1,000 times. That pocket would be darker. But I would like to do in person because I think it's really good when you can walk a room and you can help people in real time. So if I ever did it, I would have multiple people helping me, and we would be walking the rooms, and we would be letting people ask questions, and we would have more than just me teaching. One, because my voice wouldn't last for an entire weekend. That, and don't we kind of want to learn from, like, take the best of everybody's techniques? Like Charlene's coloring is way different than mine. And I'm sure that Justine's is way different. At least this is different. This is the B91. So we literally just went through the entire family of colors. And this, my friend, is the way I would color her. I think she looks spectacular. And that's because I know my markers better. Just being fully transparent, I know these markers better. But at least I know. At least I know to say that. So I'm going to use an R14 to keep it close to what the other colors were. I'm going to color in that whole red area. And I forgot to do the blue on that. Whatever, it's fine. And this honestly is not my favorite red combination. I'm just trying to keep them similar. So that was an R417, and this is an R29. Super cute. Let's do the headband. Okay. So R14. We're going to do the shoes, just one color. You can do whatever you want. There's just such small little real estate there. You can make your own decisions on that. Sometimes when we have flowers, I like to map out the areas with my lightest color. It's so much easier to add color than it is to take it away. I'm surprised we're holding people on here as long. I thought for sure everybody would be like, I'm out of here. Because it's a longer video and I'm showing you how to color the same thing, like literally almost exactly the same. So R29, which is our scary dark. If I wasn't trying to keep it close to what the Copic or the Olo was, I would put an R59 in there too, but I'm trying to keep it fair. Because, like I said, I don't have the other 96 colors, although I don't think you need the other. I don't think you need a whole set. So I feel like I have a little bit of gap in colors. These are like the original set that came out. She's so cute. I love her. Sandy says she's just listening as she works. That's honestly how I learned a lot of my coloring, was I would listen. Actually, I'd fall asleep to videos of people coloring. Kind of funny. And then I went to boot camp. Unfortunately, boot camps aren't happening anymore. I might change that. That's the R17. So cute. All right, here comes this is my new Coke Zero. This is a cherry float, so it's got like cream soda and cherry in it. It is fantastic, and I hope they keep it for a while. They had, what did they have? They had Oreo one time, and I loved the Oreo, and then they discontinued it. But regular cherry Coke, like in a can, now if you give me like with the syrup, it's fantastic. But regular cherry Coke tastes like, trying to be nice. It tastes like soap to me. I don't know. Can't stand it. You like the boot camps where you make cards as well? Yeah, I do too. I always felt like at the Copic or coloring boot camps, I learned a lot. Like when I was brand new, all I wanted was the coloring because I wanted to learn, I wanted to master it. But then at the end, I kind of wanted a mixture. The one thing I don't want to do is I don't want to fussy cut anything. So either you die cut it for me or I will bring a scan and cut. Charlene's been with me at a retreat, and I have absolutely brought my scan and cut because I refuse. I refuse to fuzzy cut. Hate it. Hate it with a passion. Some people love it. Some people say it's therapeutic. I just makes me cuss. I mean, legitimately, it makes me cuss. But what was funny is that when people started to realize that I had a scan and cut at the retreat, then people would be like, "Oh, could you take this to your room and scan and cut this for me too?" So it was so funny. Felt like I kind of hijacked that situation, and that was not my intention. Forgot the belt loops. Okay. All right, what's next? Let's do a C3 and a C0. So we're going to do the exact same thing, same colors as we did for the eyeballs. So where her makeup would be, we're going to tight line her. Just give her a little bit of a shadow where her lids would be. And then we're just going to do a couple flicks down and up. And then we're going to soften that with a C0. And it just brings those eyeballs to life. We'll go ahead and do that white belt. You see me just dabbing that in. A little dab will do ya. A little dab will do ya. So Lisa said that at the store that she used to work at, they used to do all that crap for her, as she put it. Let's do some hair. Now, if you guys, Judy Van Zant, you're cray cray. She likes the fuzzy cut. I love you, Judy, but we're not the same. Thank goodness for that, because that makes the whole rocky world go round. So I'm using E47. And I'm putting shadows around the flowers. And we're going to start with this bun. And I'm going to start bringing it down that way too. This is the Scary Dark E47. We can put a little bit on the top. So, Tara, are you watching from the car or are you already in Columbus? Okay. I don't know. Tara may not be on here anymore. She's going to the Simon Says Create this weekend. That's a fun one to go to. I went a couple years ago. I helped another company who I dare not name anymore. With some stuff. Now we're going with the E44. I didn't even use that E47 at the top here. Now I feel like this is a very messy hair and like it's not necessarily like swoopy and like all going the same direction. So it's really like connecting it kind of is hard because it's not meant to be connected. Does that make any sense? Turning it. Charlene, we can do that in 2 years because every other year it's virtual. Hopefully, in 2 years, I will be on the map and maybe they will pick me up as a vendor since I am, local-ish to them. And I would love, I'm putting it out there into the universe. I would love for Simon to pick us up and let us demonstrate at Simon Says Create someday. And I don't know when that will happen. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I would be honored if they asked me. So I am a true believer that you need to put things out in the universe. You need to pray about it. You need to ask God about it. You have to ask for their wisdom and for his guidance and direction. And if that's in his plan, it would be in my plans. Maybe either you could go and help me, Charlene, or you could go as an attendee and we could see each other there. But it's every other year in person. But Pajama Crafter Stamps has grown leaps and bounds in the last year, but 6 months. Like, it's been insane. Our releases have been selling out in less than 2 weeks. We've had a reorder. We are repackaging stuff. We're bringing out more stuff every day. So here are my 3. This one was done with Olos. This one was done with Copics. This one was done with Olo and just with the 2 color combos. Honestly, I like them all. So I am going to start using my white highlights, and then we're going to start bringing in pencils. So I like the Copic Acrea Snow White. This is a 0.8. So even though her eye is really white, I still go over it. So it gives it just, because it's an acrylic, it still gives it like a little oomph. And then I'll put like another dot in there. We'll do it on all of them. Because I don't want anybody to say I'm treating Olos different than Copics. Okay. Oh, this one we do have to treat different. So we've got this spot where the knee is open. So now we just have to like give it some white spots so it looks like it's torn. And honestly, this is a me thing. I'm going to let that dry. I'm going to make her knee just a little bit darker. So stinking cute. And then you can also put like a little bit of white where I put that gray to break it up. Now this one, I didn't do that at all in. But you could like, you can make those silver, her little clips, or you can make them white. I'm making them white today. In fact, we can give them a little bit of sparkle because you know I like me some sparkle. And you could do some dots. But let's do the really uncomfortable part for me, and that's bringing out the colored pencils. Lord, be with me. Lisa, I'm going to make everybody smile. This was my Christmas present 2 years ago from Lisa. If anybody knows, I love frogs. This year she gave me an eye mask that looked like a frog, so it looked like I had eyes. But today we've got the, there you go. Did anybody think that's cute? Because I'm wearing it now. Here we go, the polychromos. So I am definitely going to bring out a blackish. If it's not black, let's put some eyeballs on. Yes, Sean has seen the eye mask and he almost peed himself laughing. I'm not going to lie. He thought that was hysterical. I'm surprised that Jax has not decided that they were his for the taking. Gonna grab a gray. You guys, I am making this stuff up as I go. Isn't that funny? Isn't that funny that these eyeballs, this headband was right next to my markers or my pencils? Who'd have thought? Gonna bring a dark red. And a dark blue. We're getting real technical here, guys. I don't do pencils. But I know Judy does, so Judy should give me some direction. Okay. If anybody comes on here new, they're going to think I'm insane wearing this, but I don't care. So I am going to use this red, it says red violet, and I'm going to add some detail. into her hat or her bandana. See how that gives just a little bit of fine detail that maybe you wouldn't get with a marker. Do I need to zoom in anymore? And the key to your pencils is that you need to have them sharpened. So I've got this. Sandy Olnick was the one that told me to buy this one. And I personally think she's like the world's authority on art. At least for the at least she was for the card making world when I came in. If she told me to buy it, I bought it, girls. She influenced me a lot. Okay. Now we're going to use pro tip with pencils to make sure they're sharp. See? All right. We're sharpening the things. I got this on Blick Art, if anybody cares. So now I'm going to come in. See how that gives just a little bit of a different shading. You have to make sure that your marker work is done because you can't really go over your pencil with marker. Now these are polychromos because when I was first learning, I did not like my Prisma. I do have Prisma, and now that I know how to use pencils slightly, I don't know that I like one better than the other, but this is kind of what I gravitate to. Okay. We can shade with a gray. So we could go under the neck where there would be an actual shade. And just add a little bit. Because honestly, shades are like gray colored. You could add more detail to your flowers. You could go in here and really put in a shadow in the hair that's not the same tone as the hair. So you're really getting a real shadow. So I'm even going to show that on the face. And it looks natural because a shadow would be gray. Coming back here, because this would be in shadow, but I didn't want to use a dark blue. So we're putting all of that in shadow. Do you like the way that looks? We could even add some detail here. Now, if you really want to add some shadow, you could come in with your black. Less is more. So you want to be a lightweight, light hand. That bird really misses me. Isn't that cute? Now, let's go back to this simple coloring. Because I think this is where you're going to see the difference with the pencils. Okay. going to go in here and really, so this is a very smooth cardstock. This is our marshmallow card, our marshmallow coloring paper. So it's very smooth and it's great for Copic coloring, but it's not great for pencil. So it's not like you're going to be able to put down a lot of pencil and keep it there. But let's take this black. And we're just going to go over the artist drawn lines. And I'm going to go down that back edge completely with the black. And now she's got even more contrast. Sorry, I was out of the thing. All right, I'm going to use the gray. We're adding a light shadow. Where the headband would be. Shadows can be scary for people, I'm not going to lie. So I'm doing this like in circles around like where the flowers are. So it blends with all the different colors that we used for the hair. In theory, you could use this with your neutral Copic or anything like that too. But I just want to show you something different. So you could even put a nice shadow around her face because all of this is in shadow. I'm afraid to do it in black, so I'm doing it in this. What is this? Warm gray. So I usually choose a cool gray if it's an inanimate object, but if it's alive, like a person or an animal, I do. Okay, do I need to leave these on or should I take this off? I don't know. It just tickled me that I found them. Tanya says it's hard to take me serious with the frog eyes. I'm at work and saw the headdress. This was my Christmas present from Lisa a year ago. And then this year, she got me a sleeping mask that looked like eyes peeled. Okay, I'll take it off. So hard. You guys just ruined my hairdo. Ugh. I think we're done with these three. I mean, okay, we could add a few more. So the one thing that you're always going to get on this channel, I'm going to be me no matter, like if you meet me in person and we go out to lunch, or if we are on the phone, or if we're at a show, or if I'm on a live, or if I'm in a class, I'm always going to be me. So if I like come across a headband that looks like a frog, I will probably put it on just to make you guys laugh. But I would do that if we were at lunch. Like that is just who I am. You either like me, love me, hate me, or you just want to run from me, and it's fine. In all my 49 years, I have learned I don't have to be everybody's cup of tea. I might be somebody's cup of whiskey, though. I'm really digging this gray. It really makes that headdress or that headband like really stand out. Okay. we're going to zoom out. Which of those three do you like the best? And you can be honest. So everybody's laughing. Lisa's saying it might be tequila. Girls, I don't drink tequila. I went to the Bahamas when I was 21 by myself. That's another story in itself. But I drank tequila because I was in like one of those resorts where everything was free, like all inclusive. And I had to crawl to my room. I will never drink tequila again. In fact, I drink maybe 2 drinks a year. It's just not something that's like a priority in my life. But I will never drink tequila, just so you know, because I will never get that memory out of my head. But funny things that we do at age 21. So Tanya says they're all amazing. The detail definitely steps it up. So I am going to go out on a limb and I'm going to say this is my favorite because it was colored with Copics and it had more range. I'm also going to say I am shocked at what 2 colors did. So I have proved myself wrong. I have proved all of the, look at me, I'm all like, ee. I have proved all of my previous statements wrong, that 2 colors is bad. It's not my thing, but it's not bad. It's cute, you guys. So I will make them into cards. I have no idea when, but I'm happy. I'm happy with all 3. I'm so glad I got to hang out with you guys. It's been an hour and a half. I feel that the one could use a little more something to make it pop more. Are you talking about this one? I think she could use like some more white highlights. Like I think we could, I don't know. She needs something. You're right. But the point was you can get really great results without doing all the things. And to be truthful, to have 3 images done in an hour and a half, that's pretty amazing in itself. So Lisa's with me, the Copics. I'm with Sandy Alnuck. As much as I want there to be another marker that is better than Copics, I have yet to find one. I think that Olo is trying. I don't think that they're there. I will, as I'm talking about Sandy Alnuck, I don't normally send people to other people's websites. However, if you are into, I have the 160 palette from 2024. I think I have the other 32. There's 96 more. So this is their color chart that I printed. And then these I actually colored in with all my markers. And this is where I downloaded her Human Rainbow class. So it teaches you like with all the missing colors that I think that they have. This was my first go around. So this was the printed version on her page. And then this was me trying to replicate it. I clearly have a lot of work to do. But I've made some of my own color combinations here. So I downloaded like all of this stuff on her website. Some of it's free, some of it's paid, where you can practice your colors. But I have a whole portfolio here where I can start doing my own thing. I do have some Copic to Olo conversions. That was from Sandy Alnuck. So I definitely would say download it if you want to learn Olos. because that's how I'm learning. She also has that for Oh Hoo Hoo. I have not colored the Oh Hoo Hoo one because I have not figured out the Oh Hoo Hoo colors. But all right, girls, I am going to let you go. It was fantastic hanging out with you. It was really fun for me to see what the difference in the markers were. I'm actually pretty shocked. I'm in a happy way. Like, I'm really glad. Um, so you need to let me know if you want to see Hellos again. You need to let me know if you'd rather see Copic or if you want me to really struggle and go through Oh Hoo Hoo. So you guys can leave those in the comments. If this is on the replay, thanks for sticking it out with me. I will see you on Tuesday for our craft roulette replay because, well, that's what we do around here. All right, guys, bye. Have a good lunch.